I got a lot of opinions now that like I'm back home. Did you confirm getting kicked out? I mean, I did. Also, what do you mean, did I confirm? You saw it happen. I do love Chicago. It's a beautiful city, beautiful people. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's true. Chicago is like clean New York. But last night I ended the broadcast at like what, 12 Chicago time after I got kicked out of the DNC, as you guys know, not fully kicked out, but kicked out of like politely kicked. After that polite kick, I made the smart move. I made the right choice to literally evacuate the premises so I could just like, before it got super chaotic, I could get back home and I could do my live reacts from the comfort of my hotel room, which is literally why I got that hotel room to begin with as backup, because I never thought that I would even get this level of access. So I have a lot of thoughts on this. I'm going to talk a lot about this. I noticed your rhetoric got way the more radical as soon as it happened too, which was sick. Wait, what? My rhetoric got way more radical as soon as I left? Dog, I literally was pushed away because of what I was doing that was considered radical. I never stopped advocating for the same things that I was advocating for inside of the DNC, outside of the DNC. That never changed. It's not like they're not going to release an official statement. But just know that when there's a situation like that unfolding, there's like a million different people that are in communications. And of course, some people are going to be frustrated by what they see, especially because like if there's divisions. Remember when I told you about how there's some divisions between like what the Kamala Harris campaign wanted versus what the DNC wanted? Well, the boss call came from the DNC side, I think, who is not exactly fond of me, which apparently they're not fond of anyone really. So that's not shocking. I rewatched the stream yesterday after you left, and the way the lady acted after the guy with the vest came to say something to you was sus. It seems he wanted to help you get a spot and she shot him down. No, all the people that I was working with were fine. They're fine. They're great. They're doing their best. They're doing their jobs. Okay, everybody calm down. I don't want you talking shit about anybody that you saw on camera. They were all wonderful people. They were not only wonderful people, but they were also like, they put up with my ass. Okay, I don't think like my asks were all that crazy. I've given these asks ahead of time, obviously. Why would they think of you as an agitator? Charlie Kirk, Matt Walsh, Michael Pillow, Fox News. What about them? I'm gonna tell you guys all of this. Okay, you were a bit of a diva. I was not. Like, you guys are so funny. Because like you're watching from over there being like, oh, you're being a bit of a diva. It's like, no, dog, you have no way of like, bro, I was polite to every single person across the board, always. Even after I got kicked out, I was still polite. Even after I got kicked out, I'm still polite right now. Okay. Not only that, but also on top of that, that is a really dynamic environment. We're trying to do like cut content. We're trying to do like 8 hours of nonstop coverage in a very dynamic environment with people who are not fully familiar with the back end stuff, with the logistics of doing such a thing. And all things considered, they were pretty helpful overall. But like, I don't think you guys understand the lift it requires to be able to put something like that together in a situation like that. What we were able to do in 4 days, me and March, what we were able to do, and like sometimes my manager on the back end too, were able to do is something that like hundreds of people that spend millions of dollars to be able to achieve. You understand that? Like, it is an unimaginable feat. It was incredible. March pulled through. He's the GOAT. On your end, you just watch like a seamless stream. Sometimes it F's, sometimes there's audio issues, whatever. But on the back end, there's so much. There is so much work that goes into it. So much work that goes into it, like lugging that shit around all over the place, you know, trying to figure out a area, trying to communicate what we need in terms of how we can put that shit together. But beyond that, now try doing that in a dynamic environment where like things are changing regularly. So shouts out to March for the help. You need an actual assistant to handle coordination and talks and shit, it looked like. Yeah, potentially. I need like another producer, basically. You were obnoxious though, reacting, swearing, and baby raging at individuals in chat. You said you were lucky to get to use the spot. Not sure you have it long. You were lucky and you blew it. Yeah, you don't understand anything, my friend. Obviously, you are at odds with people who are higher up in the Democratic Party in terms of the value that I was providing, even if I was being contentious. So clearly, you're wrong about that. And also, I'm not going to stop doing what I do regardless because I'm inside of the DNC. I'm not going to like all of a sudden button up, right? This is literally what I do. And the reason why I got clapped wasn't because I was yelling and baby raging. The reason why I got booted was because I did not compromise on my values. I 100% get it. I've done interviews at music festivals before. It can be impossible to nail down schedules with people, even just get them to agree to meet you in a weird space. You did great, dude. Really impressed with the coverage. Yeah. So I got a lot of opinions now that like I'm back home. Are you sure you weren't just kicked out to give that prime spot to a big name? No, because that prime spot, I'm almost certain that prime spot was literally owned by a donor who was there, who was a fan. You didn't find it suspicious that no one else left that area? Just me? All the other people that were in that room still? Yeah, they didn't make anyone else evacuate that area? Just me? Come on, chat. Like, there are some things I can say and some things I can't openly communicate to you, okay? Overall, I'll say it like this. The DNC and the Kamala campaign knew what my background was, knew what I would talk about. They knew that I was not going to, engage in any sort of editorial control in terms of like censoring myself. If I see something, I'm going to say something, right? So obviously we started off the week strong. The first day, they just like were completely oblivious to what I do, kind of like in terms of what was necessary, like what kind of needs I had to be able to like conduct these live streams, right? So they were like, okay, well, I knew that wasn't going to work the first day. So I just like started off in the hotel. We went into the DNC. We did walk and talk. We roamed around in the DNC first day. It was fun, right? Great stuff. Second day, they were like, no, we have access for you. We got a room for you. And I was like, listen, it's not just a room. I need a desk and I need an Ethernet cable. That's it, right? Second day, we started off with a Donny interview. Third day, Wednesday, third day of the DNC, I had to leave early. And literally as I was leaving early, they had an even nicer area for me, as you guys know. Same area, same space that I have like for CNN. Now, the entire time I'm telling them, by the way, like, it's okay if I don't have space. I'll just, stream from the hotel. If I have interviews or whatever, I'll come over to the DNC. I'll conduct my interviews and I'll go back to my hotel, right? If I want to do my desktop stream. So they were like, no. It's better if you're here. It's better if you're inside of the DNC, which makes sense. Like I'm there as an influencer, right? I'll take it as long as they have space for me. I'll take it, right? Ironically, of course, when I was leaving, third day, when I was leaving the DNC to go do the Chapo Truanon podcast, that was the day when Ilhan Omar's team, Sean Fain's team, and AOC's team, all three of them sent me communications being like, oh, we're here now, we can do the interviews now. And that day I wasn't kicked out. So like I could have technically, if I didn't do the Chapo Truanon podcast, I could have done all of my interviews that day. I could have gotten those out of the way, right? But it is what it is. I'm not upset about it. I love those boys. I'm always gonna roll with them. So that was one thing. And then the last day, they're like, no, you got the same space from 2:30 all the way to the end. And I'm like, are you guys sure? It's a big day. I understand if there's limitations, like I'll just, do my thing and I'll go back to my hotel room. And they're like, no, you have the space. You have the space. You have the balcony. It's uninterrupted the entire day. Unlike the day before when the Warren staffer came in and was like, you need to get the out. It was like chirping at me. They were like, no, this time you have it fully, right? I was like, okay, sure. That's great. We start off roaming with March. We go to the uncommitted campaign, the uncommitted delegates. Did you actually get kicked out or is it thumbnail bait? No, I mean, I didn't get fully kicked out. So here's the thing, okay? There are different levels of credentials inside of the Democratic Party. That area that we were at is the lower level suites, right? That is that area that I was at when I was doing this interview with the New York Times, was at the lower level suites. This is the same exact level that like CNN is on. It's the same exact level that like MSNBC is on. They gave me the balcony on the same exact level, which is insane access, okay? And at that point I was thinking I mean, those are $500,000. Like people pay $500,000 to get those suites. And the fact that I had the access to that level to like show you this background at all, I'm happy. Like I was gonna take anything they were giving me, right? Anything and everything that they were giving me, I was taking. So they didn't obviously like say, F off, you're done. We're revoking your access completely. You need to leave the premises. They didn't do that because that would have been a much larger, I think, that would have been a little silly for them to do. But they basically made it so that like they made it as impossible to stream for me as possible by coming in and saying randomly, out of nowhere, coming in and informing me that I had to leave immediately. Like they were like, you have to clear out immediately. That's what they said. And I was like, what the f? Sounds like someone gave you that space without permission. No, dude, what are you talking about? No, just stop speculating. I'm telling you exactly what happened. I don't know why you're like, it's not enough for me. I'm telling you exactly what happened. I don't know why the you guys are like trying to make up your own goddamn stories. Okay. Now I know, because obviously there's like a shit ton of people involved in these decisions and like, you know, playing roles in this. But now I know that like I had heard that there was like already a little bit of a difference in opinion with the Kamala Harris campaign, who I believe wanted me there, versus the DNC, which did not think it was a great idea. Okay, there was a little bit of friction, a little bit of tension. And then obviously, like after that, the boss call was the reason that I got exited in a polite manner. It was not like, you're out of here, get the out of here, you're done. Okay, it was more so like, hey, you can't be in here anymore. There's a really important person coming in here and we have to clear out the space. Except we're not really clearing out the space. We're only getting you out of this space, right? And when I asked, like, is there another place that I can go to? I have these interviews lined up. I have the Ilhan Omar interview. I have the AOC interview. I have the Sean Fain interview. Like, I set all this stuff up with the full knowledge that you guys gave me, that like with the confidence that you gave me that I have this space where I can do these private interviews, like conduct these private interviews. They said, no, you don't have any other place that we can put you to. Okay. Do you think you'll be invited back to the next DNC? Probably. I think so. And next time the DNC happens in 2028, I will still go. I'll probably even have a better slot this time around as well. Also, they said AOC needed the space as their first excuse, not knowing you were the one interviewing her, which is crazy. Yeah, they lied about that. They were like, oh, AOC's coming into this space. I was like, no, she's not. I know she's not because I'm literally talking to her right now and she's stuck behind a motorcade. Yeah, that was also crazy. And then lastly, they were like, oh yeah, we can put you in the meme room that doesn't have even like Wi-Fi. And I know that they were like watching because they obviously stream sniped me because they forgot to take my badge for the lower level suites. And then I brought it up and I said, oh, they forgot to take my badge. Maybe they're not kicking us out because again, like my press credentials are still there. This is like a different level of access. They literally right after I said, oh, well, they didn't take my, lower level press credential from me, which means like maybe it is a space issue, right? Like maybe it is actually a legitimate space issue and like we'll be able to recover from here on out. It turns out, no.
No worries. Someone is definitely watching the stream because I literally said, oh, they didn't even take our credentials away. And then just showed up.
Just have to watch what you say, I guess, or they'll boot you out for being butthurt. Yeah. Don't you feel like what they did was worse? They cut off your ability to do your coverage while pretending you were still welcome, honestly. No, I mean, look, my point is this, okay? My point is this. I was never going to like moderate my views or change my perspective because of the unimaginable amount of access I got. And I did get an unimaginable amount of access. I mean, think about it, dude. There are literally professional journalists and press people and media outlets out there that are spending a shit ton of money, that had to spend a shit ton of money to get that level of access that I was able to get. So everything I was able to do within the DNC, within the confines of the DNC for the past 4 days, even with the like last day I don't care. I'm very happy about, okay? I'm very happy about it because I would be covering the DNC regardless, even if I was there and I was streaming from the hotel room, or if I was here in Los Angeles streaming from my house. I'd be doing that anyway. So the fact that I was able to do it inside and also get this like level of unprecedented level of access on top of that was an added benefit. Do you see what I'm saying? The way I look at it is like, I'm happy for everything that I got because I never thought that I would get any of this shit anyway. I was very lucky to be able to get all of this.